Hello YouTube, this is We All Juggle Knives with a video about what I would call Tier 1 production folding knife companies. Well, I mean companies that produce high quality production knives. I'm not talking about customs or semi-customs or mid-techs, okay, so stuff like Hinderer, Strider, Chris Reeve knives, okay, those are one category up. Okay, so we're not talking about those. We're talking about high-end production knives. For example, Spyderco paramilitary, for example. I'm going to name some companies that are Tier 1, but this is not all-inclusive, okay, because the video can only be so long. So what makes a knife, a high-end production knife? I mean, aside from the price, what makes it actually worth a price? Alright, well, there's several qualities. Number one, this is in no particular order, but initial sharpness is big. You start paying over $100 for a knife, why the heck would you want a dull knife? It's not that you can't sharpen your own knife. I mean, hopefully you can. But it's about whether a company actually cares enough, to give you a sharp one in the first place, and whether they have the technical capabilities and the quality control. Okay, so it's about that attention to detail, right? So initial sharpness, deployment of a folding knife. How smoothly does it deploy? How smooth is the pivot? If it has a flipper, is the flipper well designed, right? And if it doesn't have a flipper, well, whatever opening facility it does have, thumb stud, spider hole, is that placed right? Are the thumb studs placed correctly for the majority of human hands? Okay, so a smooth deployment, smooth pivot. The detent also comes into play. It has to be strong enough to build up some force, but not so strong as that it makes the deployment fumble. Deployment and overall fit and finish, of course, centering and all that. Also, premium materials. Of course, there's the steel, right? Now, it doesn't have to be a super steel, but stuff like VG10, 154cm, S30V, stuff like that, right? Generally none of the cheapo steels, let's just say that. Okay, and premium materials also includes carbon fiber, micarta sometimes is seen on folders, titanium is favored. Okay. Let's get into the companies. First one, MICROTECH. Wow. MICROTECH, let me tell you, this company makes folders that if they were any higher in quality, they would blow past this category. MICROTECH folders are pretty much the top of this category, I can tell you. And, that's why they're $275 and usually sold out. That's the price they sell out at. Yeah, MICROTECH, very good company, definitely Tier 1. I recommend them quite highly. Okay, next, Spyderco. Now, I did a whole video on Spyderco, so I'm not going to rehash it, but sufficient to say that Spyderco is definitely a Tier 1 company. They've produced quality design after quality design. I mean, they have dozens and dozens of Tier 1 models. Okay, yeah, they're made in the USA, and they're made in Seki lines, and even some of them are made in Taiwan. Okay, are very high quality production knives. Okay, next, Elmar. Well, this is an older company. Classic designs. Now, it remains to be seen if this company is going to keep moving forward after the passing. Elmar has passed, okay? from this earthly coil, but they're still producing their classic designs, or should I say Seki City is producing them. Okay, Elmar knives made in Japan, just like some of the best Spydercos. But yeah, they're older designs that are still in production, like the Shrike and so forth. Classics, and really a very high level of quality. The equal of any Spyderco or Benchmade. I don't know if they're going to come out with new models anytime soon, because as I said, Elmar has passed, but hopefully they will. Okay, another company, lesser known, but it's called Mcusta, which stands for Machine Custom. Japanese company. I have a couple of their folders. They are very good. I did get one bad knife by them. It was a frame lock, so stay away from their frame locks, but their liner locks, yes, every bit as good as a high-end Spyderco. And that's not just from me. Other reviewers have covered them. I think Nut and Fancy has a famous review of their Katana folder. And this brings us to talking about Seki City. Some Spydercos, Elmars, and Mcustas are all made in Seki City, Japan. It is a nexus of high-quality knife making. Okay, so it's no coincidence that the last three companies have some or all of their stuff made in the same place. Seki City, I don't know if the knives are all made in the same building, same factory down the street. I don't know if the MCostas are made right next to the Elmars and some Spydercos. But sufficient to say that there's a huge base of knowledge and production ability in Seki City, and it churns out Tier 1 production. Okay, next, Benchmade. I've made a video on my Benchmade collection as well, so I'm not going to rehash all that, but Benchmade's always been neck and neck with Spyderco, and they make very high quality folding knives. Yes, I mean, there's no other way to say it. I'm sure you've seen many videos featuring Benchmade. They're not my favorite Tier 1 company, but they are definitely squarely in Tier 1 territory. Okay, next company, ZT, or Zero Tolerance. Yes, a sister company to Kershaw, and they have had a very good year. They're working with very good designers like Rexford. They're producing titanium frame locks. They got the carbon fiber. They're using very high quality steels. Yeah, they are coming on strong. This is an ascendant Tier 1 company, and they don't show any signs of slowing down. Very high quality in my experience, so yes, solid Tier 1 company, Zero Tolerance. Okay, next, Fox Knives, Italy. Yes. You might not know it, but you've probably encountered some knives that were made by Fox that you might not even know who made them. Fox does manufacturing for many, many companies. Blade Tech, Black Hawk. Oh, Tops had a folder. Yeah, there's many companies, when they commission a folder, Fox Knives will manufacture it. I know some Bastinelli knives are made by Fox. Yeah, they do manufacturing for at least 7 or 8 other companies, and their stuff is all Tier 1. I have many Fox blades. I can vouch for it. Okay, this brings us to LionSteel. Another company based in Italy, right? LionSteel, definitely Tier 1. I have several of their SR1s. I've been very impressed with all the LionSteel knives that I have seen. Right, and this brings us to discussing Maniago, Italy, another nexus of high-quality knife production, much like Seki City, Japan. If you have a lot of money, or you own a company and you want to be Tier 1 tomorrow, have all your stuff made in Seki City and Maniago, Italy, and you can be tier 1 tomorrow. You can buy a top company if you outsource, right, to manufacturers in these cities. Now every once in a while you'll have a company that maybe is not tier 1, but the company will put forth its best efforts and create a knife that is tier 1. For example, SOG made this Mino paper small knife which has a viewing window with special, I don't know, some sort of special super Japanese paper, much higher quality than their usual. So many companies can venture into tier 1 territory, but making one special knife model or one limited run doesn't mean your whole company is tier 1 necessarily. Okay, well that was fast and furious, but in conclusion, if you're new to knives and you're working your way up, higher and higher in price, you got a $30 knife, you're pretty happy with it, but you bought a $60 knife and maybe you were a tiny bit happier with that, and then you're thinking, maybe a $100 knife. Yeah, you're edging up there. Well, I would say stick with the tier 1 companies, the known tier 1 companies at first, because it's difficult to go wrong with these type of companies. So yeah, it's good to know the reputations of companies. Of course, do research and then research the individual model. But in general, I would say it's very difficult to go wrong with any of these companies. And in the comment section, you can weigh in on more companies to add to this list. That would be cool if we could get a larger list going. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. This has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.